The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
What's going on, good people? Your boy E-Buck in the building, and it's time for another episode of I Am Nighthawk. I am, of course, the dude they call E-Buck the Nighthawk, and we talk about here on the I Am Nighthawk Pod Show the things that you guys should be thinking about that I always think about while you are sleeping, okay? That's what that is. Anyway, hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. I am for the most part. Thank you for anybody tuning in right now and for all of those tuning in later on after the fact in the rebroadcast. We appreciate you. Feel free to leave your comments. We will show the ones that we can on the air because, of course, if you're on the YouTube site and are putting in your comments, we can see your comments and be able to post them live. If not, I am checking periodically with the Facebook page to see who is commenting on there. For example, we got Coach B tuning in. What's going on, Coach B? Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Thank you very much. Tonight, we got a couple things up for discussion. First of all, we're going to talk about the latest and what's going on in this world of ours, at least on the USA side, and actually how it affects the world and thusly back to the USA side. And then, of course, we're going to talk about spring. Now that spring is starting to spring around most of the country, although a lot of us on this other half of the country having a lot of bad weather these last couple of days, so it's not really feeling like spring. It's feeling like yuck. But we still gonna get into it because it'll be nice and warm before you know it on this side. And we got to talk about certain things that go on that we want to go on a little less, and certain things that don't go on that we want to go on a little more. What is that about? We'll get to that on that part of the show. First off, all right, let's get into it. As you know, we're about 3 months in on this whole government thing. Keep in mind, I Am Nighthawk shows ain't gonna be about government and government discussions and such, okay? But it has been on my mind because it has been on the news quite a bit because we talk about this thing we know as tariffs because that's pretty much been the big talk of the last week and the tariffs and what they're going to do and how they're going to affect prices and how they already are affecting certain things in the country, in particular, the stock market. Thus, this week's set is the stock market floor. At least that's how it looks before they get started for the day. And it's looking pretty empty. And right now, it's setting up to be pretty empty because the stock market this last week, for those of you who are deep into that stock thing, bad news. Bad news all the way around, particularly Friday. Stocks went down. Bottom line is I actually own $5. $5 worth of stock that I bought this year. That stock is already down $1 and some change, okay? That's just how bad stocks going. So needless to say, right now, in terms of buying any stocks, not that I have a lot of money to do that with, what little money I do got, not going to waste my money with that right now. Stock market looking ugly, okay? That part. And how did we get here? Okay, let's explain how we got here, all right? We got here because 70 plus million people decided to vote for the current president, 45-47. And he has in his mind that, yes, we're about to do this tariff thing, even more so than I did in this first administration, because I honestly feel that if we put all these tariffs on the other countries to make up for all the tariffs they put on us, it will bring in the big bucks. And I'm here to bring in the big bucks. Because as your president, I feel like you have hired me back because you want me to bring in the big bucks and get all this money for you. Because that's what it's about. Cashing in and cashing out, right? Well, is it? Is it? For some of y'all think that's what it was. You don't care less about how he talk to people, how he act, who he bring up in there, as long as when you look at your paycheck every week, you getting the big money, the extra dollar bills, this big spread, so you can handle your proper business at the store and buy what you want to buy and get what you want to get. I do believe that is your intended purpose in bringing that brother in. Well, right now, how them pockets look? Are they looking good for the 150,000 plus people that have been told to go home from your job, government wise, and not come back? How I feel right now? How does it feel? Bet don't feel too good, do it? I did not approve this message. I'm just saying. But anyway, now we're dealing with this tariff thing. So what does it mean? Okay, let me break it down in layman's terms. We're going to tax the other countries more money to bring their goods here in the United States to sell to us. That means that the people that are getting these goods from China to sell to you have to pay more money to bring them up in here. That in turn leads them to say, okay, I'm going to soak up a little bit of this, but most of this money that I'm paying extra, I'm charging to you. So if you want this new lamp, car, couch, whatever it is that we got from China, Taiwan, Mexico, wherever the hell, it's going to cost you extra dough to get it because we ain't about to cut down on our bottom line in order for you to feel better about your bottom line. In other words, remember, these tariffs affect two structures, corporate America and the American public, okay? Now understand, corporate America ain't trying to take no loss. Zero loss, all right? Not having it. They want to make as much money as possible. That is the American way, right? To make the highest profits you possibly can, regardless of what your goods or services is. So, in order to do that, we're going to cut down as much of the bottom line as we can in order to get the most money back for our corporations, for our business, okay? And corporate America is looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, it's going to cost Americans more money. Hopefully they buy stuff still. Some of the stuff that they need, they're going to have to pay for it because you're still going to need it. So if we jack up the prices, because they jacked up the prices, it's all good. As long as I still get my bonus at the end of the year so I can be Emma J. Butt and buy a mansion and a yacht, or at least a bigger one than I already got. Because the upgrade is what it's about for some of them, flat out. I got $3 million bonus last year. I want $3.5 million this year. I had bought a yacht 2 years ago. This yacht old now. I want new yacht. I want new mansion, bigger house, bigger car, all that good stuff. I'm not about to cost me this money in order for you to be better. So, here's where we are. Now, that's part of the equation. Corporate America still got to get their money, so they got to suffer, we got to suffer. And then we got to look at it from the standpoint that we all tend to not look at, that I constantly bring up to you people. America is just one place in this big old blue ball called planet Earth, okay? We represent 4% of the world's population of 8 billion plus. Just us 365 million or so, okay? Granted, that's a very wealthy 365 million as opposed to most of the rest of the world. But 365 million are the same. We are getting our stuff from China, Taiwan, Mexico, Canada, Japan, so on and so forth. Those populations are represented in the scenario because if they have to pay more money to send their stuff here, it's going to thusly cost more money for them to make said stuff. It's going to affect their pockets, so they in turn looking to affect ours. In other words, several of these countries that are getting the tariffs put on them are saying, you know what, that ain't right. I'm going to put tariffs on you. Our buddy Road to Stardom checking into the lineup. What's going on, Road? You know, Road, I was working on a new commercial for you, my sister. I'm going to see if we can work that out. Give us a quick second. We're not taking a time out. I just need to see if I can access this right now so I can play it for you right now because we love roll like that. Let me see. How we going to do this, roll? All right. I don't know if I'm be able to do it live. We will see. All right. Hold on. So as we talk this out, like I said, we are talking tariffs right now and how it's affecting us. Keep in mind, a lot of y'all are not happy. And it don't matter if you are Democrat, Republican, you are not happy. You're not liking what's going on right now. You have hit the streets this weekend. There have been major protests throughout the country, protesting that dude DT, protesting his buddy Elon, not liking how they setting it up so far. He say be patient and in due time it's gonna work out, but I don't know. I don't know. It ain't looking good early on. Especially if you look, like I said, that stock market got hit big time this week, people. All right, Ro, here we go. It is literally downloading, and hopefully it will play properly. And we're going to try to play it for you. Let's see. Right now. Quick commercial break as we play the new Road promo. Let me know how you like it, Road. This is I Am Nighthawk. We talking tariffs. Is it a good thing, bad thing? Why it is both and neither and all. Anyway, we be back.
In this world full of opinions, it is time you hear some of hers. Speaking Freely with Ms. Geigo Podcast. Find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as where other great podcasts are found.
There it is, Ro. That is the new commercial I worked on for you today. Hopefully you liked it. There's a couple other people out here in the network. Want to send shout outs to Caramel Sweets and to So Extra LLC. My good friends that I've worked with in the past who now have businesses of their own that I want to promote here on the network. I am definitely looking to make some promos for y'all and put them on the network and send them to you so you can utilize them yourself. I will send you that one, Ro. I want to tweak it a little more. We're going to give you that one, but we're going to work on it a little more and have a little better one for you next few days, all right? Hopefully that's cool with you. Ro says, thank you. No problem, Ro. We love you here in the network. You know we do. But anyway, back to the discussion. We are talking these tariffs this week and how it has caused all type of issue because we don't want to pay more money for stuff, flat out. That goes against what we wanted. We wanted cheaper prices and more money in pocket. We are getting neither of either right now. Eggs going down a little bit. That's helpful, but they still cost $5 and $6. And here come Easter, and y'all still talking about doing Easter eggs. They did a poll, said about 90% of everybody said, yeah, I know they're expensive, but we still coloring the Easter eggs. Damn them plastic eggs, them using other stuff. It just ain't right without the Easter eggs. Suckers. That's all I can say. God rising on the third day, the resurrection, which is Easter, and it had nothing to do with no Easter bunny or no damn eggs. Save your money. Buy them kids some of that cheap candy, call it a day. I'm just saying. Anyway, back to my diatribe. Look, other countries are sending their stuff, okay? And they're getting charged extra to do it. They charging us back. Partially because they figure like, okay, since y'all got big money like that, United States, you don't want to dig in our pockets, we're going to dig back in yours, okay? How you like that? Road is saying, how do you give a tariff to a country that has no humans on it? Yeah, of course, there was that part of the story. There's actually a country on the list that they said is basically an island full of penguins, okay? Look it up. It's, go to YouTube, look up Penguin Island. It'll come up. Basically, they said no human being has been on the planet that is that part of the planet since like 2017, I think they said. 8 years, but yet they're getting charged tariffs because now that goes to this part of the discussion. Some people are saying that, yeah, the reason why the particular countries in general that came up on this thing, on this list of tariff countries, it was done by some type of chat GPT AI type situation. So the reason why is these particular countries they shouldn't charge this particular price is because they typed in the numbers and poof, this is what we got. Okay, give it to the people. I hope some more thought went into it beyond the realm of that. I hope that ain't how it really went down. We are already concerned about AI and how this thing is going and so on and so forth. I really don't like that. I really don't. But nonetheless, good people, what we're looking at now is a situation where we like to spend our money and we like to buy things. A lot of people starting to get their tax money back and so on and so forth. But now we have to consider what we spending it on and when we gonna buy it. Keep in mind, there is that push that's saying, yeah, the tariffs, they about to start right now. So you should buy stuff now before them tariffs kick in. Particularly if you're trying to get a car or something like that, you need to get it right now before they jack the prices up. Buy it now. Now understand, car companies, I'm sure they love that. And of course, 4547 is telling you the main reason why he's doing this outside of getting our money back is because in the end they want to promote us Americans buying American goods and only American goods, okay? Now, I'm going to be honest. When you look through your crib, from stuff as little as this little plug right here to stuff as big as this screen and everything, half of everything in most people's crib is made in China, made in Taiwan. Just look it up. Just pick it on up. You'll see it plain as day. Made in China, made in Taiwan. And I'm going to be honest, most stuff in my crib is of good quality, regardless of where it came from. It worked, and I like it, and I works with it, okay? Just because it get made in America don't mean it's going to be a good product. I'm just saying, in some places where you get whatever you're getting from, you may like it way better because it comes from there. They've been making it for a long time, and it's good. Now, granted, we know other countries that's making some of these things, they are paying the people that make them pennies, chump change, scraps. They getting jerked, okay? That is, of course, why a lot of these things are being made in Taiwan and China and Japan and such. Because if we try to make them here, the people that are going to make them are going to want way more money to make said Nike shoe or said lamp or whatever. You got to pay me, baby, because I want money, 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 money. Because that's the American way. Clearly, that's why we in this mess. Quality of life is starting to not be nearly as big a factor. It's just not. All I care about is these pockets, filling them up full of monies so we can do everything we want and need to do, so we think. Now, my thing is this. Part of me, in my mind, I'm saying, let him cook. 45, 47, let him cook. As that kid Glorilla would say. Because I want him to do all his dirt and dirt. Because most of it is getting challenged in court. And most of the courts are coming back saying, come on now. You know you can't do that like that. You can't fire them people like that. Let them come on back. You can't do that law like that. Put it back in place. And they're not happy about that. They're trying to work around that. But we get to the point where they say, okay, I don't give a damn what the court said. I'm doing it anyway. Will it come to some of that? Maybe. Just maybe. I know one thing. If I'm working in the Supreme Court right now, I hope I'm getting good sleep because we got a lot of stuff we're going to end up having to review the next couple of years. Thanks to your boy. That's how he wanted anyway, right? Since he got half his people on the court already. Surely you're going to remember that I looked out for you. And you're going to look out for me in return. Aren't you? I imagine that's what he's thinking. Anyway, good people, we can only get suckered for so long, okay? And then, of course, the other thing that parked up this week. Third term, yeah, I think I really want to do that. No, I'm not kidding. I really want to do that. There's ways around it. We're going to do it, okay? Understand it's going to be extremely difficult to and impossible for him to pull it off as things currently are situated. In order to change that part of the Constitution to declare that he can run for a third term of office, the Constitution itself has to be changed by 2/3 vote in the Congress. Highly, highly unlikely to happen. And 37 of 50 states, even more unlikely to happen, even though the majority of the states are run by Republicans. So, yeah, part of me like, yeah, go on and do that. Because in the end, if you can run for a third term, my dude can too. That's that dude Obama. And I think he would do it if it could. I don't know if Michelle would like that too much. I don't think she would like it at all myself. But yeah, if you want to play that game, let's play. Let's play. But yeah, what we got now is a continued mess. So yeah, the stock market probably going to be messy this week as well. And we're going to see how these tariffs kick in and how they affect things. Just long story short, be mindful of what you need to buy and be wise into what you are buying and where you are buying it from, and pray for better days on that. Because right now it's getting a little messy. But are you surprised? I know I'm not. Not at all. Anyway, that's that discussion, okay? When we come back after these commercial break, we want to talk about springtime, something happy and joyful. At least some of it is. But then, of course, spring brings April showers, May flowers, and other such stuff that's not so good, and some things that are pretty good. Let's talk about it all when we get back. We talking springtime, the good, the bad, and the fugly, okay? This is I Am Nighthawk. I'm E-Bug. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back after these words from the Nighthawk Network. Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people. I like that, Rogue. Let's play that again and start it off.
In this world full of opinions, it is time you hear some of hers. Speaking Freely with Ms. Geigo Podcast. Find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as where other great podcasts are found.
Nighthawk Network presents Pastor Sean Love. Pastor Sean Love, devoted father and husband, a residing pastor at the River Rouge Bible Assembly in River Rouge, Michigan. Join him as he gives us messages from God's Word, Bible study, and encouragement. You can find him on YouTube under Sean Love.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea-sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
Looking for the ultimate throwback experience? Tune into Nighthawk Network Radio. Imagine jamming to classic hits and the best B-sides from your favorite artists, yes, those hidden gems you forgot you loved. We're serving up a variety of genres that'll have you singing along, from smooth R&B to those hilarious comedy bits that'll make you chuckle during your commute. Whether you're cruising down the road or relaxing at home, we've got the perfect soundtrack for you. It's like a nostalgia trip with every song. Trust me, you'll find yourself reminiscing about the good old days, right? So, why not give it a listen? Click the link to join the Nighthawk family and rediscover the music that shaped your life. You won't want to miss out.
Hold up, hold up.
Looking for the ultimate throwback?
All right, good people, we are back. This is I Am Nighthawk ebook in the building, talking to y'all. Looked on the Facebook page. Shout out to my dude Tracy. What's going on, Trey? Also, Francisco the Barber down there in Texas. What's happening, brother? Coach B tuning in, and also to Miss Diane Alpert. Good evening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, unfortunately can't put your comments on the air because only the comments from the YouTube page are the ones that I can post up and show at this point. That's kind of one of the fails of the EV Mucks. On the other hand, as you see, you get a lot of crisp, clean pictures and whatnot. That is the good side of it all. But we are going to work around all those things. That's what we do. In the meanwhile, good people, we are here ready to talk to y'all about springtime and some of the situations that come along with spring and whatnot. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. As you know, it is April 6th, 2025. Spring is here. Spring is sprung throughout the country. As you know, there are parts of the country where it basically just don't get that cold too much. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about may not necessarily apply to you because it's kind of an all year round type scenario for y'all and some of these things. But keep in mind, when we talk about the country, the majority of the people who live in the United States are on this half of the United States. In other words, from the Midwest on in. Then, of course, you got California and Texas. That's that big swath of about 60 million people or so. And then everybody else is kind of getting where you fit in on that side. So because of that, most of this conversation is kind of based on those folks there and that East Coast, Central, Midwest, mountain range time frame that we're talking. Because now those spots is where it's starting to get warm. And the things that come along with what happens when it gets warm come into place. First and foremost, as you know, springtime, particularly in April, a lot of rain. You're already getting a lot of rain throughout this part of the country. I need people to understand that part of what bothers me that I am seeing is that people are not properly prepared for the weather events and changes. This generation of individuals, pretty much from 30 on down, y'all don't like to watch the news. You'd rather watch the TikTok and whatnot. And y'all don't keep up with what the weather report's going to be. I don't know how many people I have seen on this side of the planet, here in my state of Michigan, my city of Detroit, that oftentimes get caught up in the rain, ain't got no raincoat to first, wearing them doggone stank flops and flip flops that you know I can't stand people to wear outside, wearing jammer pants and shorts and all type of stuff that is not conducive to weather conditions. Okay? A lot of y'all gonna get sick, gonna be feeling like crap, and it's your own fault because you did not take the time to go on your wonderful phone app and download the weather app at least and find out what the weather gonna be like. Now tomorrow here in Detroit, the weather's supposed to be kind of crappy. Supposed to be cold and breezy, and then between like 11 and 2, we supposed to get the good old wintry mix. So that means at some point tomorrow, we're going to look up in the sky and we're going to see that stuff that freezes and comes down white. And then that song is going to pop in your head. For those of y'all in that 40 and over range, y'all know what it is. Sing it with me. Sometimes it snows in April. Shout out to the legendary Prince. Rest in peace, my brother. But yeah, we ain't trying to see it, but we got to deal with it. Understand later on in the week, next Sunday will be nice 64 and sunny and whatnot. Which means the weekend's supposed to be nice. That means everybody ready for their spring and summertime activities. What do some of them consist of? Well, you'll see a lot more people outside walking to and fro all hours of the day and night. Okay? Safety first, people. Be mindful of your surroundings, all right? Some people, y'all live in a nice suburban area. Even you need to be mindful of your surroundings. Because you know something I've been seeing a lot of lately, particularly the last couple years? The stray animals. I don't know if that's the case in other parts of the country, but here on my side of the world, every time I look up, I'm seeing dogs running around, no leash, no collar. I'm seeing cats. I'm seeing deer. I'm seeing coyotes even. Coyotes in the D, yes. Big mangy coyote I seen the other day. I spoiled the dog till I got up on it like, dang, that's a big old coyote. I'm telling him, who he been eating? But anyway, they out here. So if you taking your nice morning stroll, you might want to bring some assistance with you. I see a lot of people walking around with like golf clubs, baseball bat, big old stick, whatever you need to do to feel safe, do that. Then some people, y'all got that fire on you. That's a whole nother story. Don't pull the fire unless you need it. Okay? And I'm not just talking about in that situation. I'm just talking about period. Don't pull that thing out unless you truly need it. If your life is in peril and jeopardy and you got to protect yourself by any means, I can't be mad. Especially if you have a legal firearm, you got to do what you got to do to get back home safe. But if you're just doing it and you just wait for somebody you on that, I wish a mother sucker do something wrong. Don't think like that. Don't act like that. Them be the main people that spend the rest of their summer locked up somewhere. That's what we don't want. That ain't no fun summer being locked up in that place called prison. All right, let me see if I can catch some comments here, y'all. Hold on. All right. My buddy Alicia's checked in. What's going on, Lee? Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. That's that part. Okay, a lot of y'all, of course, it's springtime, summertime is coming. Y'all ready to get y'all travel on? That is very popular here in this place called America. So as soon as it get warm and you don't have no schooling to deal with, to pack up the car or get on the plane and travel the world in the seven seas. Understand, one, if you're traveling overseas, these tariffs going on, America ain't necessarily the ish right now in some places, okay? Y'all gonna go some of these places, they're gonna be mad at you. Particularly our friends in Canada. They love us, but they don't right now. It's DT's fault, okay? They ain't trying to be bothered because we talking about making them 51st state and all that. Yeah. Canada ain't gonna be quite as friendly as they normally would be in some places. Just understand that. Mexico, same thing. Same thing. Some of the other parts of the world, maybe a little less so, but yeah, the tariffs hitting a particular part of the world, and you identify yourself as American, you go there, you might get dealt with a little differently than you usually do. Just kind of be ready for that. I'm just saying. Another thing, when we travel the world in seven seas, make sure that your travel plans have been thoroughly thought out and planned out. Some of y'all just pick up and go, and we'll figure it out when we get there. That ain't always the wisest thing, particularly if you go someplace where you don't have no connections, okay? In an ideal world, it's nice if you go somewhere and you know you got a cousin down there, a family member, one of fellow school buddies or whatever, so that you got a little connection in case something go awry, in case things don't go right. That's a good thing. But if you're just going down there solo dolo particularly, and you don't know nobody or nothing, you ain't familiar with the laws of that state, because understand some laws vary from state to state. Perfect example. They have just passed a law here in Michigan that states that the police cannot pull you over just because they think they smell marijuana in your vehicle. Okay? Let me repeat that. They can no longer pull you over because they smell marijuana in your vehicle. Because the thought process is that, yeah, you might have smoked it in it, but that don't mean you smoked it in it in the car in that moment. And I know some of y'all like, ain't marijuana legal in Michigan? Yes and no. What do you mean yes and no? Marijuana is legal here in Michigan, okay? But federally, it is not. So if you get pulled over and you got a nice amount of marijuana on your person, on your vehicle, yeah, you can get dealt with for that, okay? If you are driving and they test you and they test for not only the alcohol but marijuana, yeah, you're still gonna get in trouble for that because it is still illegal to drive while intoxicated or under the influence of alcohol, a quote unquote drugs, which according to federal law still includes marijuana or vape pen marijuana, still the same, okay? Just because you vaped it instead of rolled it up, there's marijuana in it, and they tested in your bloodstream and you was driving, you can get ticket, license took, all of that. Now it's different in different places. Some places ain't no smoking at all. Ain't none of the greenie, okay? None of the lettuce, none of the broccoli. No, no, no. And other places, yeah, they're a little bit more lenient. And other places, they're a little less lenient, okay? Know the laws of the land where you're going. When you go down there to Florida and Texas, you can walk around with that thing on you and show it pride. I look here. You don't want this. I got that fire on me. But understand what's the licensing situation, okay? Some states you can walk around, you got that thing on you, it's all to the good, period. It don't matter if you got paperwork or not. In other states, yeah, your paperwork is valid. It just ain't valid here. In other places, ain't no thing, period. And certain places that you're going to go hang out. Yeah, I understand in Detroit, we got the 3-carat law and, concealed weapon and all that. But in some places, you still can't bring that boy up in there. Not at all. Paperwork and all that. You had the paperwork tattooed on your chest for all like that. It can't go on. Them the laws. And some of y'all is lawless. You don't care about no law. You don't want no law. You don't give a smurf about no law. However you want to do it, you're going to do it. Because in the end, you live your life based on the principle of if it's fun, it's fun. And if it ain't, I don't care. As I see Leisha putting up the travel, because she does like to get her travel on. You be careful, friend. You be careful. That's what I'm saying. Don't just be out here. So I know you got to go, and you got to go and understand that, but be mindful where you're going. Now, here in the city, or in any of the cities, because we got people tuning in from Chicago, from down there in Texas, San Antonio, down there in Dallas. We got some folks in the network. We got people from LA that tune in. I got some people from Kansas City and St. Louis. So yeah, definitely some city folks that check out the pod. We appreciate you. But yeah, city life a little different than it may be in rural or suburbia and whatnot. But some of these things gonna apply to you, some of them ain't, okay? You're going out and about, you're traveling, particularly if you got a vehicle that runs on that thing called electricity. Understand, not charging places everywhere. Make sure that where you're going, you got a route mapped out where, okay, if I need to charge this car up, this is where I can charge it up at. If I need to gas this car up, this is where the gas station is, okay? Set that up. If I don't have it, make sure I got that gas can in the car, or make sure I got that AAA car so I can call them. Make sure you check your tires and all of that when you're going on these trips, okay? Make sure everything's properly inflated. Make sure you got your spare tire or your donut in case that need to go on the car. Make sure that you are set up with your emergency situations, okay? If you need to have a little emergency spending card in case something jump off, make sure you got that going. You need to put a few extra dollars. Keep in mind, yes, we are set up in a society now where some places are cashless, which means that if you don't have a credit card or one of them phone type situations, you ain't gonna pay for nothing because they don't take your money. Other places, cash only. There are several places here in the D, they take cash only. So if you're trying to travel and go to some of these places, make sure you set up either way. Have some of the money on and some of that beep beep. So you good, okay? Another thing, all right? Spring is sprung. That means soon and very soon for the places that don't have them already, here come the bugs. And let me tell you, the bugs, they change things. I don't like them bugs, all right? I'm talking about the ants, of course, the good old flies, the bees, the mosquitoes. Yeah, you got to be ready for all of that, all right? So when you open the windows and stuff early on, you know, it may be wise to get some of that indoor-outdoor spray. Spray them around all the windows, all the cracks and surfaces. That does work. Some of that good old powder. I forget the name of the powder. One of y'all, if y'all in the comments, make sure you put the name of it because I know y'all know what I'm talking about. But go ahead and spread that around the edges of your household to kind of cut down from some of the insect infestation because them bugs get on your nerves, okay? And if all that stuff is around the borders of your household, they tend not to bother your household so much. Then, of course, there are the other rodents and creatures that come out from their hibernations ready to eat and cause problems. So if you got the trash cans and whatnot, if your lid ain't properly set up, go on Amazon. They got all those little can locks now and things you can put on your can so they can't just easily run their butt up in there and mess with your stuff. So you ain't got to worry about Pete Possum or Rodney Raccoon or Riley the Rat digging in your trash and tearing stuff up. Or more importantly, is he saying, okay, ain't nothing in the trash. Let me see what's up in your crib. So if you got some places outside that need to be sealed up and whatnot, go ahead and hit the Amazon, hit the Home Depot, get some of that crack seal and all that, and seal them off because ain't nobody got time for them games. Ain't nothing worse you wake up and like, what the hell was that? And you look up like, oh no, where the mousetrap? Where's the Orchid Man? Where's Terminex? Not up in this house. No sirree. I ain't having it. All right, what else we got? The gardener people, y'all. I love y'all. The ones that like to start that garden this time of year and grow the fruits and vegetables. Probably the best thing to do, truth be told. Ain't nothing like having it fresh. Some fresh tomatoes, some fresh green beans, some lettuce, some stuff like that. Just make sure if you set up your garden, set up your garden's dispensers as well. Because like I said, we like the fresh fruits and vegetables. Guess who else like them? Them same people I named, Rodney, Pete, all them rodents. They'll dig up in there like, ooh, yummy. Thank you for this carrot. I appreciate you. No, we ain't growing this for you. We growing this for us. So we can get our good grub on in the summertime, all right? Now, of course, there are the seasonable fruits and vegetables that we like to seek out. You know, strawberries, for example. Have y'all seen some of these strawberries over the years? Man, they big now. What they doing to this fruit to make it grow like this? How you see how red some of the watermelon is and how big some of the melons get. And yeah, these are not naturally grown situations. Understand that. In an ideal world, if you could find a place that has that thing called organic, that grow that good, nice, fresh stuff that ain't been all supersized and whatnot, try to get you some of that. If you can find you some of that good meat that's halal based, organically based foods, more expensive, mind you, but better quality. Okay? For those of y'all getting y'all barbecue on and whatnot, make sure you go on out and do a little scrubby scrub to the grill right quick and get all that situated. It'll be time for Memorial Day and all that sooner. For some of y'all done already got started, okay? As soon as the first half of warm day hit, wherever you was, you lit that grill up and went to work because that's what you do. I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying every now and then, put a little clean on that boy. Because some of those little shards and whatnot eventually may get into the food. You get to biting on something like, was that a piece of steel that I just bit into? Don't want that. In the ideal world, best thing to do is like if you got one of them steel grates for the grill and whatnot, get you one of them power washers. Put a little soap on it. That's a good do right there. You good to go. I myself, in the ideal world, I wants to get that thing called smoker. Sometime the end of the summer, I wants to get me a smoker and smoke me some meats. That's good eats right there. All right, hold on. Let me see if we got some more comments I can get to here. Boric acid. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, sir. And yes, Coach B, I did see where you said I want to do a podcast for your Michigan Eagles football. Coach B is coaching the Michigan Eagles football team. They're going to go on several states throughout the country, get their football on. You're going to learn more about it because I'm going to get with Coach B and we're going to help him do that thing. Yeah, I seen your broadcast Friday, Coach B. You do need some technical support. We can't provide that for you, my brother. We will get in touch with you. In the meanwhile, good people, like I said, spring is sprung. You want to consider all your factors. You want us to all have a good time. I don't want to be looking on the news and see how this person made out bad, or more importantly, these people got into it because spring is sprung, it got hot, and y'all couldn't wait to get out here and act the fool. Throughout most of the major cities in the country, crime has declined in the last 2 years, amazingly enough. Now, still too much crime, period, overall. But in cities like Chicago and Detroit and Houston, crime is down. I know it sounds crazy because you turn on the news every day, you still see 4-5 stories about this person, that person got shot. So yeah, it's still too much crime overall. But overall, crime is down. We want to keep that trend going. Because ideally, it'd be nice if you just go some places and have a damn good time and come home and all you got is good memories, not bad memories of what happened, what fatal event transpired. We don't want that. You should not want that. You just want to enjoy your spring. Okay? Most cities, by the way, they have websites. cityofdetroit.com, City of Chicago, City of Houston, whatever it is. On that website, you will find this thing called Things to Do. So for those of you who had those kids be like, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. Look on that website, man. Yeah, have them look on that website. Take time out from TikTok and things. Look on the website, see what we can do. See where we can go. Hang out, have a good time, learn some things. That would be cool, okay? Because it will be summertime before you know it. And yes, parents, let me throw this in the mix right quick. When it's in April, if you got that senior or that 8th grader, about time for graduation soon. Time to get them set up. It's almost prime time. It's almost senior trip time. It's almost graduation night time. Kids gonna want to do things and have that type of money before you spend all the rest of the tax money on that. Other stuff, you might want to put up a little bit for that stuff. So that when it comes time, okay, I want this and I want to drive in this car to the prom and I need this much for the dress and all that. You got a little bit of that money already put up. So when they come with that foolishness, you can do it. But in the end, understand, if you spending thousands of dollars on this child and they barely graduated, what are you doing? What are you doing? If anything, you need to put that money up because if they ain't gonna graduate, what's the likelihood they're going to get a halfway decent job early on? They may need that money just to survive. Because I know in the ideal world, you're not putting kids and stuff out these days, but I'm just saying. Anyway, good people, spring is coming. Let us be mindful. Let us do our due diligence. Let us have a spring that we will remember for all the great memories we had. Not for the bad stuff, not for being ill prepared for it, not for getting sick, not for any of that stuff. Just fun. Okay? All right. We're going to wrap this thing up in a minute. Play another quick commercial. When we come back, we're going to end the show on a nice quality note. This is the I Am Nighthawk Pod Show. I'm your boy, Ebuck. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Nikki. Let's talk. Let's. Nikki.
Hold up.
All right, again, shout out to all the people that been tuning in. Shout out to all our advertising type folks like Sunshot Detroit. And again, I want to send a special shout out to So Extra LLC and Caramel Sweets. Gonna do some stuff for them. We're gonna see those advertisements in the next few weeks. Hopefully if you're in the local area, will partake of their goods and services and such. If you are a person in the network and you are looking to do some advertisement here, we want to work with you as well. Please drop me a line on my Facebook Messenger page or my Instagram page. That is E Nighthawk or EricHawk45, and drop in my DMs and let's see what we can do to get you promoted a little bit more so you can do your thing, because it takes a village and we're trying to be part of your village. Our motto, Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people. And we big on the village up in here, okay? Also want to shout out my cousin Sean. It's your birthday today, my brother. Happy birthday to you. And also shout out my lady Yukon Huskies. Y'all know I am a sports fan, and I am a big Yukon Lady Huskies basketball team fan. They have won their 12th national championship today. Congratulations to Paige Beckers, Coach Gino Oriema, and all the rest of the Yukon Lady Huskies on getting the job DONE. We'll talk more about that on that show that is the Guru Sports Session on Wednesday, 9 p.m. And shout out, of course, to my partner in crime, the one and only Hugh Lee. Check out his show on Tuesday as well, the Sports Guru's Perspective. Sports from his perspective. You feel me? Again, as always, shout out to all y'all who tune in every week and show us love and drop in the comments. Again, we're going to work out that comment thing. Hopefully, EV Mux, you can figure out some way to help me get that together so I can put my Facebook comments on the podcast as well. I will definitely look into it, y'all, and see what we can do to work that out, because several of y'all did tune in and put your comments. And the way my phone was set up this week, I really couldn't see too many of them. But next week we'll see what we can do to kind of work that out a little better, okay? In the meanwhile, it's time to go. As always, I tell y'all, be blessed. Don't stress. When all else fails, put your hands together like these here and pray to the man upstairs and help you to get through the rest. I thank you as always for your patronage. Till next time, this is Ebuck. This has been I Am Nighthawk Pod Show. Until then, we're going to throw the fingers up and we up out of here, good people. And I think I even got an outro today. At least I was supposed to. Oh, well. We'll go back to the good old reliable. We out.
The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.